Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of Super Soldier Talk. I'm James Rink. It is March 15, 2017, and I have Peter with us again. And today we're going to talk a little bit more about certain types of super soldiers, some of the more recent current events, and certainly from a perspective that you haven't heard before. Now, Peter is a director of Division 12 within the ACIO, which officially it's the Advanced Contact Intelligence Organization, but you might as well call it the Alien Contact Intelligence Organization because they're responsible for acting as liaison between humans and aliens and interspecies relationships. And apparently they have access to a lot of advanced technology, which we're going to also talk about as well. So, Peter, are you there?
Yeah, hello to you and hello to everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Peter, for joining us, and how are you doing?
According all crazy circumstances, good, thank you for asking.
Right. So, now we do have a itinerary here to discuss, but we may not be going exactly everything as listed, because I wanted to talk about some of the more important pressing issues right now, and that is there's a controversy going on right now about super soldiers and the term super soldier. Some of my proteges do not like that term, and I just wanted to get your feedback on that. Now from the research that I've gathered, it appears super soldiers are not technically called super soldiers; they're actually called cyborgs. However, certainly a super soldier could be considered. There's so many different groups that some of these groups could actually call them that. And for instance, you have the Deep Space Fleet, you have the Galactic Federation, you have other parallel realities like the Nazi parallel reality. I'm sure they have their own special name. And the reptilians, they take humans and make hybrids.
They've got ultra soldiers. Nazis, they've got ultra soldiers.
Okay, so the Nazi term is ultra soldier.
Yep.
And the reptilian term is, according to Simon Parks, is Circe, which is, I guess you could call it SS, but or super special humans. I think he called them. Now, what are your thoughts on super soldiers? Is that even a term that we should even consider using? Appropriate term? What do you think? Hello? Peter?
This is what she said. Don't do that.
But it wasn't even related to anything she's talking about.
But this is the problem. She's obsessed.
Do you want to mention to the audience what just happened?
Definitely yes.
Okay.
After we end this topic, okay?
All right. So we got Peter back after some technical difficulties, and Peter was mentioning, we were talking about the Nazi super soldier. What did you call them?
Ultra soldiers.
And then the Circe, and then so what are some other terms? Is super soldier another one of these terms they use?
Yeah, definitely yes. Because once again, I mean like the name cyborgs, they cannot be manufactured in 30 days. It's not like that.
Could you be more cyborgs? So how does that compare to a super soldier? So super soldiers need to be grown from childhood into adulthood slowly.
No. Once again, not exactly vice versa. Okay, exactly vice versa. It's like super soldiers can be manufactured and developed in 30 days from inception to being completely fully prepared, you know, and like a 9-day simulation of pregnancy and 21 days growing up, like 21 years in 21 days. But cyborgs, they should be growing up in a normal, I mean like real time, if you wanna call it that way, real time, you know, terms, I mean conditions, yeah.
It could take years for them to develop.
Yep, exactly. Many years. It's like 15, 20, 25, 30 years. It's, you know, it strongly depends from type of cyborgs. The very less problematic ones can be grown on like 8, maybe 10 years or something like that, but definitely not 30 days. Okay, definitely not. And they have much more less capabilities as super soldiers have. So it's very big different, you know.
Well, can you? What are the difference of the capabilities?
They have less. I mean, they
super soldiers have less capabilities.
No, definitely not. You are taking it completely wrong. Cyborgs have much less capabilities than super soldiers, and this is the fact many people don't like to hear. Okay.
Well, then does that mean cyborgs are obsolete?
If you wanna call it that way, then yes.
Then okay, so I'm assuming at one point cyborgs were the only thing that they could make, and now they've moved on to creating super soldiers.
And super soldiers are like cyborgs 2.0 or 3.0, or they were like 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 or something like that, you know. And they are like 3.2, 3.3 or 4.2, 4.5, 4.2, 4.3, something like that. And but there is one problem. Super soldiers are very unreliable, are very, you know, like unreliable, very unreliable. There can be many situations, you know, there can happen many situations when they possibly can get totally out of control. Okay, and you know the consequences, they are not bad, you know, that they are not good, very bad, you know. So you know, it's like okay, you have more advanced modern, more advanced technology, okay, then pay tax for that. You know that, do you know what I mean?
Pay tax.
Pay tax. Like it will be like tax.
So the ones that are developing these more advanced super soldiers, they want some fee of some payment of some sort.
A fee. Like the fee will be not money or something, but tax, like fee, will be unreliability. Okay, this is it what I'm talking about. And technically they are not like fee or tax or something, but they not should be, they need to be, they super soldiers, they need to be always upgraded. I mean, it is like illegal street racing or drag racing. You can get a huge amount of power from normal engine, okay, but it will last only few thousands of miles. It will be like, I don't know, 10, maybe uh 12 or 13 thousands of miles, and then bye bye. You need to go to repass. Oh, you know, I mean, completely like change, I don't know, 60-70% of uh, parts of the engine. It's something like that, very similar for super soldiers. You know, this is the problem.
And
You
does the inside go? Oh, go ahead.
no, this is it. What I was talking about. That is like, okay, cyborgs are obsolete. Yeah, they are slow. They are not so capable of doing, you know, many stuff. And this is it. They are not so good, and they are not at some stuff, and they are not capable to do so many stuff. Um, Super soldiers can, but they are very reliable, you know. And this is it. Super soldiers can do many stuff. It's like, you know, their options are practically unlimited, but they are extremely high to be maintained. This is it what I'm talking about.
Mm. Now, does the inside of these super soldiers looks very cybernetic, or is it biological?
No. They are like, you know, like biotechnological, but problem is with the implants. Implants are not stable, you know, because it's biotechnological thing, you know, and it should be, not it should be, it must be, I don't want to say replaced, but you know, like uh, changed the main operational units, like processors in the computers or graphic cards in the computers. They should be replaced, because after few turns from also called normal mode to super soldier modes, it's very short limited, you know, uh short limited, you know, like uh lifespan. It will make big problems. As I said, you can go like 100 I mean, like 1200, maybe 1500 horsepowers from normal car. Yeah, it's no problem, but your engine will not hold for will not last very long, you know. It's absolutely the same.
Right. And certainly when you do a lot of upgrades, some of those upgrades can malfunction.
Yeah, it can dysfunction them for I don't want to say for uh for forever, but for from few days to few weeks, and that's another problem, you know. Yeah.
And what about the fact that they're not able to obtain a lot of experience that a cyborg by doing a lot of field work? Is that an issue as well?
But that's the stuff. Super soldiers were built, they were designed not to have emotions during the missions, okay? They are only tools. According to their manufacturers, they are only the tools, okay? Nothing less, nothing more. Only tools. and tool don't have emotion. It's like, it's like the key or something. It's not. It's tool. It doesn't have emotion.
So is this where they inject people with femto technology and they shapeshift into one of these beings, or is this an avatar that can be controlled remotely or totally different, controlled by an AI?
No. It's completely no. It's like not AI. Okay, it's some very complicated sort of mixture of AI and bio stuff. It's bio AI mixture. What is working? What is working inside? Inside the super soldiers during time they are on missions. Yeah.
Well, going back to my question, well, more specifically, what about you and myself, Peter? Because I know you've
I
claimed
don't
to
want
be
to
a
talk
super.
about that. I don't want to talk about that.
So
I
you
mean,
can't comment whether we're super
talk about
soldiers.
you. I can talk about you. It's if it's
Oh,
not problem
okay, sure.
for you, but I don't want to talk about me. Okay?
Um. Am I a super soldier? Is that?
Yeah, definitely yes. I just wanna
But
say yes. I am super soldier too, but I definitely don't want to talk about it anymore. But I'm super soldier as well as you are.
yeah, but I know I wasn't raised in a lab for 30 days. I've been around for quite a bit. So
No, you are not right. They are
what
your memories. They are your memories. They were
they keep
implanted.
changing me? They keep changing me out every 30 days.
No, once again, okay? They are your memories. They were implanted.
So who is the real James Rink now?
You know, it's like they can do everything they want. So technically, you are here communicating just right now with me, and you are not. It's like they can mess up with time, with space, with reality. Okay?
So
Maybe,
am I an avatar?
maybe you are on the mission right now. I don't know, but I can search it for you. It's no problem.
Sure, I don't
Definitely
mind.
yes. Definitely yes. Definitely yes. You are an avatar as the same as I am the avatar. Nothing complicated.
Oh, but I thought I was the original host.
So you was wrong. Huh?
Oh, all right. It's gonna be hard to wrap my mind around that one. Oh, okay. Now, would a cyborg look different than a super soldier in
No.
appearance?
It's not about looks. It's about appearance. Okay, definitely not. Once again, it's about how old, respectively, how more or less inventional technologies are, if you wanna call it that way, under the hood. Okay, and the process of because once again, okay, super soldiers can be manufactured in 30 days. Cyborgs not. Cyborgs are very old. I mean, the tech is very old. They are practically, as you said, they are obsolete. Yeah,
So going back
but
to my questions,
obsolete, but very reliable.
Yeah, well, some people describe like an extraterrestrial race of cyborgs, a very silver-like skin, silver suit, a glass helmet. They're
No,
usually
no, no,
have.
not like that. No, definitely not like that.
That's
No,
not the same
no,
because
no, 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 no.
these were
I mean,
cyborgs just
I mean,
with the glass
they
feathers.
they can be okay, but it's not only the appearance. this is not working like that.
They can look very human.
Yeah,
Very,
definitely yes.
know.
Definitely yes.
And if you were to cut open their insides, there would be. Would it even look like typical organs, or would it be all mechanical inside
No,
a cyborg?
normal like humans. Okay.
So mix of AI and biochemical.
If they will die and there will be autopsy, that's like perfectly fine. That will be the craziest part of the story.
And you should also mention that super soldiers can die, because someone was commenting that you've claimed that super soldiers can't be killed, but apparently Max Spiers was killed.
I mean, they cannot be killed by normal way. But for example, I've got very bad experience with one of the super soldier queens, and we decided, I mean myself with my friend Jeremy from Czech Republic, I just want to say hello to him, we decided to kill her with pump action shotgun, and we should. It's very easy. You just need to make headshot, solid headshot, and some, some mixture, specific mixture, and filter this mixture. I mean, you need to filter. You need to fill this mixture to the goat. It's like 12 or 16. It doesn't matter. Okay, and one solid headshot and problem gone. I've got the recipe, so it will be okay for us. Because she's doing crazy stuff. Just by the way, we cut off, it was like 15, maybe 20 minutes ago, and it was her again. And she was like, don't do that. She was telling me, don't do that, It's crazy.
And certainly these queens can control these super soldiers like a hive mind, is what you've claimed. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely yes.
So maybe it's the queens that are driving these super soldiers. They're when they're on the battlefield, the queens are like as a form of the avatar of the queens. Is that correct?
If you wanna say that way, yes.
Yeah. So does that mean the queens are ever put in the field, given weapons and guns?
No, definitely not. They are only commanding, But this is the fact why I love pump action shotguns. You can kill practically every kind of enemy. Any kind of enemy, if you have correct mixture of ingredients, and if you know how to make it. The recipe. Mm-hmm. I love that.
Well, certainly, DARPA would probably like to get in contact with you. Maybe. Could you send me a photo of this weapon that I could put in video?
Normal tactical pump action tactical shotgun.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
It's like something like police patrols in US are using like Remington 870 or something like that. You can buy it in normal weapon store.
Mm. Well, going back to my earlier question, how did Max die? Can you comment about that?
He was talking with. We call them. We in ACIO called them spirits of the universe, but we don't know what was the problem, because he was not problematic guy, So we was like, holy shit, what's the problem? And they killed them, these spirits of the universe.
Mm.
They are highly high level conscious beings. I mean, astral beings, and he he must piss them off in some way, but we don't know what was the problem.
Right. He had a lot of drug problems, and a lot of people don't like it when I talk about that, but Max has admitted it. And I was always under the assumption that aggravated or made it more likely for him to become a target. Do you think there's any truth to that? Or maybe there's something totally different going on here?
Yeah, but technically, it's like when you will go. Do you know what trip is?
Trip seat?
Yeah, no. Trip. I mean, like you use the drug and you are on
drugs,
the
yeah.
trip. Yeah.
Yes.
Technically, he wasn't using drugs. He wasn't drugging because, he was bored, or he was like he lose somebody or something close to him or something. He was using drugs because he wanted to talk with them. Okay, with universal spirits of the universe. It's like it was not. I mean, I don't want to say it's okay, but from his point of view, it was no problem. But I don't know what he told to them, because they were very pissed off, and they killed him.
What about these claims of a black goo substance coming out of him? What are your thoughts about that?
But this is it. They can do black goo instead. He wasn't injected. Okay, they can materialize it inside him. It's no problem for them.
So maybe that's the means of how he was taken out.
Yeah, definitely yes.
Okay.
But let's talk about these problems we have.
Well, here's another comment that I get from a lot of people, and they get angry at me because they claim real super soldiers are the Navy SEALs and the Black Ops and the people within the military, and anybody who claims super soldiers are a superhero, or I don't know, maybe like Captain America or something, the X-Men, is giving out disinfo. So, I mean, Peter, you've already established that super soldiers are real. So, what are your thoughts? How would you even define the difference between what we have going on in the military compared to these queens and real super soldiers?
Problem is that many people don't want to realize, and this is it. Okay, this is it. The fact, not idea, the fact that people who are in charge, real in charge, it means like the hierarchy enslaving you, okay? Because they are under pressure, under huge pressure, okay? Because they know the matrix, the whole system is collapsing. They can't hold it anymore, okay? And they are doing a disclosure in sci-fi stuff. It means comics, video games, TV shows, and movies, sci-fi genre, and many people don't wanna accept that this is the fact, solid fact, okay? Many people, that's the problem. But man, it's not mine, either yours problem. It's their fight with the reality, okay? And if they wanna call us liars, bullshitters, all kind of this stuff, it will not stop us from what we are doing, because people deserve and they should to know the truth. Okay, this is it what I want to tell about this topic.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of people that contact psychics to get a psychic reading, and the psychic tells them some information which disturbs them, which probably is true, but instead of trying to make changes in your life or your whole belief system, they get angry at the psychic or whoever. It doesn't have to be a psychic. It could be a guru or somebody provides them information, a teacher, a guide. So and
I this is it. I just wanna tell, okay, that these people, many of these people we are talking about, where my clients, I went ahead and searched for their private files in ACIO's database, and this is their payback. Okay, so sorry for that, people. I don't want to do these sessions anymore because I was seriously pissed off, because I did this in my free time. I did this for
my free time too. I helped you out.
Your free time too, because you was like kind of a manager. You managed everything, everything about it, and I did that in my free time. I don't want to any type of any money, any no money from it, any fee or something like that, and they are behaving now as they are. Sorry, people, I don't want to do this anymore, because I really don't know who I should trust and who I shouldn't. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah, well, you did find a pattern within a lot of the people that applied. Many of them worked for Kruger, which is a group that makes super soldiers. And then there's another group of Monarch Solutions, and it appears the group that's connected with Monarch Solutions seem to have been causing a lot of trouble for you. Now, Monarch Solutions is also associated with a lot of negative things on this planet. Is that
you are right?
Okay.
Let's be more precise. They've got direct connections with politicians, and especially especially with Clinton. Okay, we need to be accurate. Okay.
So, of course, Clinton's probably Hillary Clinton. I'm assuming you're referring to. Is probably a clone. Right. Is probably a clone with created by Monarch Solutions. Well, thankfully, she did. The military didn't allow her to get in office, because apparently they hacked the satellites the day of the election and told Hillary Clinton to stand down, otherwise they'll nuke the Pentagon, which was controlling the satellites that the Hillary Clinton group was hacking the vote.
But technically, yes, you are right. But technically, they are connected with the whole Democratic Party. That's the problem. The monarchs,
Well, you would think they would also infiltrate the Republican Party as well. Don't they want to try to control both narratives?
They tried. I know that. But once Trump is our man, they are not. They wasn't. Then they will be not successful. Believe me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, typically the Republican Party has also been associated with the Nazi faction. But
the Kruger, I don't want to say worked with Nazis, but Gabriel Kruger, he was in Nazi reality, and he made a clone and sent the clone to our reality. But it's like,
so that's how they did it.
Yeah, but what should we do? I told to you, okay? I told to you that this Nazi reality, when they won Second World War, it was perfectly fine. But the ideology, that was a problem. But they are trying to mix it up and to make some balance in this reality, that good system without bad ideology. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Something like that.
Yeah, well, okay. Okay. I want to mention to the audience who are new to this and haven't listened to any of Peter's previous interviews, but Kruger was a military contractor that developed weapons for the.
It is. It still is. It still is.
It still is a military contractor that developed weapons for the Nazis in another parallel reality where the Nazis won World War II. And I guess Peter has just said that Gabriel Kruger, I guess is his name.
Yeah. Yes.
Created a clone of himself, sent it to our reality to set up Kruger here to continue. Because Kruger was, I guess you could say, a more positive group. It's kind of hard to say, turning super, but I suppose positive in that. How would you define this group as being positive compared to the others? What makes them better? In your opinion?
It's like they don't want to completely overtake everything what they possibly can. That's the stuff. That's
like
the
kill off undesirables, people with like Down syndrome,
No,
or Jews,
no. I am
blacks.
talking about. How can I say that? They are against martial law. Okay, that's the stuff.
Hmm.
Because monarch, they want a martial law. Okay, this is the problem.
Just a quick question, Peter. Do you want to bring Adrian in to the conversation?
I don't know. We can try.
He just said hi.
We can try.
Because Adrian had a few questions.
We can try at least. Let's give it a shot.
And for the audience members,
let's give it a shot.
All right. Hello.
There he is.
Hello, my friend.
Hi, Adrian.
James?
Yeah. So we're conducting the interview right now.
Okay, sorry, I had to figure out this new mic here. How you doing, Peter?
Everything considering these crazy circumstances, good.
It is.
I'm hearing feedback. Oh.
Are you getting feedback again?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I could adjust this here.
So, Adrian, what we were talking about is basically there's a controversy on the internet about people complaining about the term super soldier, and Peter is just clarifying to the audience members and to people who really are not in the know. Because I like to mention anybody who says super soldiers are fake or not real, or that they're just associated with just black ops and the Navy SEALs. People who make this claim are really people. It's code word for they don't know what they're talking about, according to Peter, and a lot of other whistleblowers as well.
Yes. And technically, they are. I don't want to say lying, but they have some misconception in their minds, because black ops soldiers officially doesn't exist. Because it's black ops, so you can't talk about something what doesn't officially exist. It's crazy.
Isn't it called USAP? Unidentified Access Special Project. Is that?
Yeah. I know. I just want to say that they are complaining and telling crazy stuff, crazy shit. I wanna tell it this way about us, and they are not realizing that they are talking about black ops, the special military projects they are going through DARPA, and if you will dig as deep as you can, okay, in normal web, I mean surface web, hidden web, you will see nothing. You know, you will see nothing. Only in deep web, in deep net. You know, I mean
Yes.
darknet, and they are they will tell us something. It's crazy from my point of
Mm.
view.
Yeah, and so also I'd like to mention Adrian has the ability, just like Peter, to pull up information from Skynet. So as some of the questions which is one of the reasons why we brought him in this call, is because he's come up with some interesting points about exploring some of the clones at Area 51. And Adrian, why don't you give a little introduction briefly about yourself, so people who are new to this will know who you are.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Are we getting feedback? Okay, my name is Adrian. I am a psychic and a clairvoyant. And also I practice sacred geometry, and I read the codes of the sacred geometry software that I have obtained from Sedona. And I'm able to go into, as you call the matrix, and actually pull up files, and I'm able to access Skynet, as you know, with a cyborg by the name Alan, and Alan has access to that as well with his database. And I'm able to, I was able to get access to some information about some of the technologies there, about, as you know, James, we talked about Sabertooth. We've talked about
Which is
some
my
other
code name.
ships.
That's the code name of my super soldier alter, I suppose. And
Yes.
by the way, I don't actually turn into a saber-toothed cat. Some people have that misconception. It's just a code name.
Right. And
Apparently, when I do shapeshift, it's goddamn scary, is according to Peter.
Yeah,
But
definitely. I was like, because we were talking about this privately, you know, about this stuff, and he was like, James was like, okay, but what should I do? I wanna have some solid evidence, and I was like, no, 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 James, it's perfectly fine, because once you will turn in front of them, they will piss their pants, you know.
And I just wanted to mention, James, Cliff is here, and I just want to let he's listening in, and I just wanted to tell Peter that he was also part of the Montauk project. Yeah.
all right, certainly. Thank you, Cliff, for listening in.
Yeah.
Um,
Say hi.
Yeah, how's it going, man?
Wonderful. Okay, so I guess where should we take this? You know what, Peter? Let me ask you. I had one other question relevant to this list, and that
Okay,
was
I need to interrupt you, because
yes.
we've got very special guest here who wanna to be added to this show,
Oh,
and it's my special friend, very honored, Daniel Brecht Boland, Sergeant, you know.
oh yeah,
So
yeah. He
I
was part
think
of the
that it will
USAP
be,
doc.
yeah, and
Bring him on.
okay, no problem. I am doing it already.
And I've interviewed Sergeant Daniel Macbolean in the past. We've done at least 2
Hello, my friend.
interviews.
Hello. How are you?
Hello, Dan.
Hey, James. How are you?
Good.
Peter?
Long
Hello.
time no see.
Yes, I'm perfectly fine, you know. We are doing this interview. I'm happy that you are here.
Thank you. It's good to be here. It's kind of cold where I am, and we're just kind of recovering from cold weather, really cold weather.
Okay.
And
We're at the
go ahead.
Standing
Yeah,
Rock.
Dan.
We're at the Standing Rock Indian Reservation in Cannonball, North Dakota.
Aha, okay.
And of course,
So,
Trump recently he signed an executive order forcing that pipeline through. What are your thoughts on that, Dan? Briefly.
I think it was a poor decision because it's not going through. They've just run into a myriad of difficulties because the people are praying here, and the praying together with as many as 16,000 people moving in and through the camps, the 7 different camps here. I think it will be fraught with nothing but failure, and it will not go through.
And maybe the company will go bankrupt eventually.
They already have lost most of their investors. The pipeline originally was 3.8 billion, and now the cost has sprung to over 16.2 billion with a B. And they're still, even though the people are gone and the camps are destroyed, they are no further along. They've drilled the hole too small and then put the pipe in, and they just made a big pretzel out of about 60 feet of pipe that's ceramic coated. And now they're trying to drill in from the backside. That didn't work. They broke a drill off. And they're trying to drill back in through the front side. And it's just one failure after another failure. And
yeah. Certainly, Dan, we could talk about that in a whole interview, and I'm sure the audience members will love to hear an update about that. I just thought that I would mention that if Donald Trump would release the free energy technologies, and all of this would be made obsolete and unnecessary.
Yeah. He definitely will, because they are pressures from organizations. For example, the problems they are making about Tesla cars in whole US and Canada, and there are many people who owns them, owns them, and they wanna drive their cars,
yes,
And
because they paid hell of the money for that. It was like
yes.
it was like my friend in Cali. He paid like 150 grand, something like that.
Mhm.
And now he had the problems because there are no docking stations. I mean, they are, but they are only very very seldom on the roads. That's a problem.
Mhm.
So Tesla cars is putting pressure out there to make devices that will charge them.
Yeah, but not from normal,
Means.
like electrifications, but like from solar panels or wind energy, like free energy, if you wanna call it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely yes.
Right.
And those stations are far and few in between.
Yeah, I know. I just want to say hello to Elon, my friend Elon Musk.
You think Elon listens to
Yeah,
these
definitely
videos?
yes. He called me. He called me like 2 or 3 days ago.
Oh, really? Like through Skype?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Well, John Titor says that we should buy stock in his company, whether or not you consider him authority figure. John Titor thinks the planet's going to burn up by 2050 or 100 years from now. But
Yeah.
I think that's the negative timeline. I'm really hoping that could be averted somehow.
It's negative timeline. Yeah, you are right.
Yeah.
It will be. Sorry for that. Yeah.
Well, Peter, do you have any other controversies or you want to mention about the pipeline? Some
I think
conspiracies?
we are okay. I think we are okay.
All right. Okay. Anything else, Dan, you want to throw out there to the audience members?
I agree with Peter. I am probably somewhere up in the very high 90s that it will fail, and that it will not go through. It will not cross the river, even though the drilling has. They are trying to drill underneath, and they're still having problems with that. It's the black oil that the indigenous people consider to be the black snake. I don't believe it will ever reach here. There was a 1 million gallon leak north of here, about 150 miles, and it shut everything down here. And then they tried to drill from 2 different sides of the Missouri River, trying to get that pipe that they put in about 60 feet of pipe and didn't realize that the hole was too small, and it started to make a pretzel. And the more that they ran 3 lengths of pipe, and it just kept turning into a pretzel, and now it's one solid piece of ceramic coated steel, and everything they send down there to drill through breaks immediately. So, and now they're beginning 2 more drill pads on fracture lines, which is a shear fault, which is silly. They won't even be able to drill. They'll just shear off their drills as the ground
Yeah,
shifts.
because you are absolutely right, because they want to poison all these people. They are like, okay, they are
Yes.
Native Americans and they are people who are supporting them. Screw them all. We don't need them anymore. Bye bye. And they don't. They are not able. It will be nasty to went with National Guard or something and kill them, by shots, so they will poison them by
It's
poisoned water.
soft kill.
Yes.
Yeah, soft
Yes.
kill, if you wanna say it that way. Yeah. You are
Yes.
absolutely right, my friend.
Well,
Yeah,
they tried to kill us here using soft kill methods. They were using ECCM weapons. They gave me 4 heart attacks. Audrey, was it 4 heart attacks?
yeah.
4 heart attacks. And had Audrey not been here, I would be uh, basically up in the cemetery on the hill right here. Uh, because and then they came after with a new type of weapon I'm unfamiliar with, and it produced the same kind of wound pattern, only with electrons, particle beams. It created a wound cavity the size of what you would have with a 338 Lapua rifle, right in the chest, and they weren't shooting at me, they were shooting at Audrey Lewis, and I happened to lean forward as the man was firing from the helicopter. It was at eye level, maybe, less than 150 meters away. I leaned forward and I caught the blast in the chest. And it at first seemed to be like an ECCM, but it was not. I lost a lot of lung tissue and various other tissue that it just poured out of me. I woke up after about 5 or 6 days later from the healing, and all this necrotic tissue came out through the lung, the right lung bronchial tube, and it just went right out on the ground, and it was a surprisingly, shockingly, a large amount of lung tissue laying on the ground.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, glad
I
you're
know that.
alive.
I know about the ICCM. It's crazy, man.
Well,
And
it
certainly,
caused a
Dan's a
cavity.
super soldier, so he should be trained to resist it.
You
Actually,
know.
yeah. Well, I tried. I didn't know what it was. I know what ECCM is, and I could get past that. I've been hit so many times I can't count. But this weapon was different, and but the about the third time or the second time they hit me with ECCM, I had a heart attack. Audrey Lewis and I were not together, and I took a knee, and someone found me in the camp and said, "Are you all right?" I just said medic. They took me there, and they put me on a 3-lead EEG, or not EEG, but cardio, and put me on a stretcher and said, "Yeah, we're calling an ambulance in now." And I didn't seem to be able to communicate with Audrey, or I didn't think I could. I was able, I just didn't, I was unaware. So I put my hand on the stave and I transmitted along the wooden beam of the yurt that we were in, and I said, look, help me. And he was at the north gate over a mile. Is it about a mile and a quarter away? About a mile and a half away. And as they put me on the gurney and wheeled me across this small yurt, Audrey had reached the door. So, I mean, he was really going like 50 or 60 miles an hour running down the hill towards the yurt. He got there, and I said, whatever you do, don't heal me until after they take blood gases so that we can prove this, that they are using psychotronic weaponry and direct energy weaponry. And then, of course, when I went to the Yates Indian Hospital, they took a 12 and I had a dying, what do you call it? The sinus rhythm was really bad, and the P wave was really damaged. And they said, "Oh yeah, we're going to have to put you in. Maybe life flights you out of here." And I said, "No, I'll be leaving here pretty soon." And the moment she took the needle out to take the blood gases test, I told Audrey now, and the blood pressure machine came on, and it went from 172 over 92 to 115 over 82, normal sinus rhythm, and perfect P wave. And the medic or the nurse went in and was shouting for the doctor to come in. He came in, they were looking, they said, "What happened? What happened?" I just started peeling off leads to smoke a cigarette. I said, "Well, I can go home now." And they said, No, not yet. We have to figure out what happened. How do you feel?" I said, "I feel great. Miracles happen every day." And Sioux medicine is big medicine. It's very strong. And the doctor was Indian. He goes, I said, "Don't you believe in miracles, Doc? I was healed by big medicine." And he kept me for 3 hours. He would not let me leave the hospital. He would not allow the doctor from the camps to enter into the room and witness what had happened. He made him stay out in the waiting room. But at the end of the 3 hours, he released me. I walked out and talked to the doctor who followed me up in his car and took me back to the camps. He says, "You're really damaged. How did this happen?" And so I explained a little bit of what had taken place. And without Audrey, I would have been pretty much stuck in that hospital to
Now, Dan,
heal on a normal way.
is Audrey the same Audrey that was escaped from Area 51? He's from the Pleiades.
Yes, from Star Atlas. The planet is called New Lyra. Yes,
Okay, yeah. Just whatever you do, make sure they don't take him out, because we're
Oh,
kind of concerned at what the ETs might do to this planet if they do something.
right. Well, the thing is they have tried to harm him in 100 different ways here. 100 different ways, and by poisoning. They tried to poison him. They actually did poison him twice, and they had no idea. It really scared them when he was able to push his way through 2 different poisons to get to me, because they were attempting to kill me the 4th time using.
Well, you're certainly a survivor. Using
Well, I needed him to be there, and he actually was able to. It was a struggle for him, but he literally came out of this. Nothing they could do to him could stop him. He got back, and he began to activate my Audacia together with his, and began the healing process. And it took a little bit longer because it felt like I was somebody had taken a war lance and just stuck me to the chair, and I couldn't get up. I couldn't move. It felt like I had been lanced through and through and staked to the driver's seat. And the healing took place, and then all of a sudden I could move again, and we both began to recover. And it really frightened them, because it was the CIA that was in the yellow helicopter.
Right.
And whatever this weapon was, it was not ECCM. It created a cavity probably about 10 centimeters in diameter, and I can still feel in the ridges of my rib cage missing bone tissue, where there's a little step where it's missing. But once I got rid of the necrotic tissue, which was about maybe probably in ounces, I would say 3 ounces of lung tissue. Then the healing, then immediately I began to feel new lung tissue taking over on the breathing aspect, and it was really good. And I still have the valley fever and the uranium-235 and the tetrathallium sulfide in my system, but I'm getting rid of it slowly.
Right. Well, I want to mention to Dan, before you got on this conversation, we were talking about super soldier, the term super soldier, and apparently there's a lot of people going around the internet who are making certain claims and this and this and that. And now, Dan, you were part of, I believe, USAP Doc. Is that what you called it?
Actually, that's what they called it. It's what they still call it. Within the intelligence agency, you have the non-official covers, which will be spooks and kooks. And then on the dark side, if you want to call it that, as opposed to First Earth Battalion, you will have the Unacknowledged Special Access Program's Deep Operation Coordinate Cell. Peter knows all about this.
Yes, yes.
And I was a part of Project Open Eyes, the Air Force subset, which is Zeta Diogenes.
So you can verify that the term super soldier is not some bullshit thing, you know?
Absolutely.
Did they actually call you super soldiers? Do you remember?
No. They referred to, there were classes of our batch. The ones that were half Zetan and half whatever mixture of humankind they wanted, they called Seaspray. And I was 1/4, and they called us, I'd been referred to many times as yellow fruit. I think it had to do with the yellow book device or the yellow cube device. I'm not clear on that. All I know is that human doctors referred to me as a yellow fruit product, where they would just out and out call the half and halfers, I guess you'd call them. They would call them Seaspray. They would refer to them as Seaspray, and they were very violent and very evil-minded. Their mindset was very evil-minded. I had to eliminate 3 of them. They did something in my presence, and I was unable to prevent them from doing it. And after it was over, they were outside, and I had the opportunity to terminate them, and I did, and got rid of the bodies. I don't know, whatever they thought about it, and I didn't care. I could hide that. I knew I could hide that from interrogation.
Okay. Well, Peter, did you have any other questions you'd like to ask Dan?
I think we are okay for now, and we can move on, you know.
Right. Okay, so the next question on our list, let's talk about the Zambian Phantom, because that's something that's new in the current affairs. And Dan, have you seen the Zambian Phantom?
No, I have not. This is the first time I've ever heard the term.
All right, I'm going to send you a link. Hopefully you can look at it while talking to us. Or I could share my screen. Would that help? Maybe I'll share my screen.
Yes. We're on a secure server here. Audrey has a secure server here.
Is Audrey listening in?
No, Audrey is meditating at the moment.
Oh, okay. All right. Actually, let's see if I can pull it up off of Skype here.
Because according my information, Zambian Phantom is bleed truth of another reality, you know?
Oh, yes. Yes, we've seen this here, that phenomenon here of bleeding, 2 constructs bleeding in together and interfacing with one another.
Yeah.
Many times. Probably, I can't count how many times we've done certain things to damage the pipe by remote influencing, only to have it completely reversed by Alice and Atlas of CERN coming in and rebooting or resetting the construct. And yes, they have stopped probably 8 different damaged times that we knew that we were working together. We damaged the pipeline by remote influencing, and only to find out an hour later that the entire construct and no one remembered the event except for Audrey and myself. They thought, oh, no, that didn't happen. So yes.
On the screen, you could see the picture that was taken of over the shopping mall in Zambia. So what is this bean? Peter or Daniel, you want, or even Adrian, you want to comment?
I can't see it, but go ahead.
Peter,
Please.
Peter, do you see it?
Okay. So once again, from my point of view, this is bleed truth of mixtured bleed truth from few realities, and this astral entity is Zambian Phantom. It's like he's called moron. Muron, with the double R, Muron. He's calling himself Muron.
Okay, I know of him.
And he, how can I say that? He's observing. And when I ask him what he's doing, I mean, like, okay, I can see that I can see that you are observing us, but what's your real purpose? I was like, okay, what's your real purpose? Nah, I'm doing nothing. I'm just observing. I was like, what?
He could have been a little bit more discreet.
Yeah, he was like, okay, but why are you doing this? I mean, what's your agenda? Tell me. And he was like, I have nothing to do. This was his answer. Muron. Yeah, like, okay, what's your name? My name is Muron, and I have nothing to do. So I am, I'm crossing the planet, and I am observing. Okay, what are you observing? The way of life. And I was like, okay. Muron,
So he's not really a negative being.
No,
Okay.
no, definitely not. He is just bored.
Yes,
kind
and
of
interested.
Yeah, and bored and interested. Yeah, you are right. Absolutely.
All right.
And so, yeah, we had at least 8 incidences where we know the pipe beyond a shadow of a doubt via drone, on the ground drone footage. We know that it was as though the damage never happened. And this reset that Alice and Atlas do by going back and forth in time, Alice does through the looking glass, and then using that technology to change the hearts and the minds. And they tried to alter. I don't know if it's okay if I use this this acronym or whatever the title, but PPAI is really animus, and animus struck me. I think it was 2 days ago. No, it was 2 days ago.
You mean pathologic predatory artificial intelligence, right? PPAI.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Is anonymous.
We started calling it animus after the ancient arrow site from the Kingmakers. We just decided to kind of update Alfred Levermont Weber's description of PPAI as animus. The term Borg, the Borg, is already taken, so we figured we'd stick with the original Wingmaker's description and call them animus. And so animus tried to reinstate, reactivate the Zeta programs within me in a very painful
What
and
will be
powerful way.
the problem? What will be the problem? Because once Zeta went into sleep, it's very dangerous to try to reactivate it. Am I right?
That is correct. 'Cause I was in a position where I was just eaten, and we were both kind of snoozing in the van. We were going to leave and head back to where we were staying, but we were kind of drowsy, and I started to drift off to sleep, and it hit me with all the injuries. It tried to misdirect my mind by reinstituting the memory of all the pain of the injuries I've received while I was here. Excuse me. And when I woke fully awake with the pain, and it was trying to download to reactivate and repair the broken keys and codes to get back in to activate me. And I simply went into the star meditation. Instantly, I went into star meditation and drew upon the energy of my mate. And instantly, animus ceased and desisted, and there was no pain. There was a little phantom pain, but that evaporated almost as quickly as opening my eyes.
And that's my question. I need to, sorry for interrupting you, but I need to interrupt you. You mentioned phantom pain, right? And you know, it's very common, widely used. The phantom,
Yes.
the phantom of the opera, right?
Oh yes, yes.
And
It's called,
do you know what the opera means instead culture institution? Do you know what does it means?
no, tell me.
Opera is, I mean, it was a cover name. I mean, the project name in 30s, back in 30s, Nazis have specific project for that, and you know, these there was this. Okay, I got it. His name was Donovan, Professor Donovan, in US.
Yes.
He was
OSS.
forced. Yeah, he was forced to continue on this very controversial project, because it was like, how can I say that? You know, like binaural beats in the music, and all
Yes,
kind of stuff, and
Subliminals.
you will be influenced, you know, in like special type of way, because you will be hear or see or something like that. You know, I mean, like with a
It's
special, you know, type of reception. I mean,
uh-huh.
under reception. Do you know what I mean? I mean, like
Yes,
you.
it's like Puppet Master program. It's like being played in a being the puppet
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the
And do
puppet
you
master.
know, actually, do you know that part of the opera project was Disney project?
Really?
Yup.
That's interesting. That is highly interesting.
Yeah,
That
it was
is,
the target group was children.
yes, because they had the especially the ones born after 1999 have the trinary DNA in a natural way, in an evolutionary way.
Yeah.
And so when Animus responded by taking a course of action of giving viruses which would create autism, it could actually use the children while they slept in a collective hive mind for quantum computing. Otherwise, it was denied.
Yes, you are absolutely right.
It was denied the ability to process 1.8 petabytes, which is
Yeah.
probably every thought and memory of every
Yeah.
humankind.
Because technically this was their intention to make subliminal, you know, subliminal uh, 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 way of reception,
Mhm.
and they wasn't able to I mean, they've got documentation, and they've
Yes.
got perfect theory. Who? Nazis in 30s.
Yes.
But this Professor Donovan, he was forced, and do you know what was crazy? It was total crazy that he was forced to do that because his brother, younger brother, Donovan, was general in the U.S. Army, and they told him that they will destroy his career. They will, like kill him and all kind of stuff. I mean, in the
Hmm.
army. So he was forced to work on this project.
Right.
It was crazy.
And it didn't work. I mean, the Disney programming worked, but they just Animus decided to change course of action and institute the nano and femto biological applications programming interface for transhumanism in order to gain the control that they could not gain by the opera operation.
I know that opera operation. This is it. Yeah, exactly.
Because that's exactly what they were trying to do is reformulate the or transhumanize human beings, but the will of free moral agency was too strong, and
Yeah.
especially amongst the indigenous people, that's why they try to kill as many as possible because they have the really high metagene factor, and so well, I was listening to an elder yesterday, no, 2 days ago. Um, And he was telling me how the U.S. Army back in the days after Wounded Knee, they lined the people here up in Cannonball. They lined the natives along their village on the Cannonball River, and there was a large chunk of ice, it's really huge, floating down. And all at once, they had all these cannons, and they gave the signal and they fired this cannon, all these cannons, and destroyed the iceberg. And and they said, if you don't do what we say, we will do this to your village. And the holy man picked up the chanupa from the chanupa carrier, the pipe carrier, and he loaded it with tobacco and he lit it. And there was a larger piece of ice floating in the water coming down behind that one, and he just pointed the pipe at it and blew through the pipe, and the explosion was like twice as it was big, and it just shattered ice completely out of the water and onto the land, and that scared the U.S. Army to the point where they tried to kill all the people in Cannonball.
I know
And
that. You are right.
yeah, that was it so frightened them that one holy man, one chanupa, a peace pipe. Um, And they do have peace pipes and they have war pipes. And this was, I believe, a peace pipe that he used, which was irregular, but he wanted to demonstrate that they were not afraid. And they had never been afraid anymore. And uh, as a result, the Tiger Swan Corporation, the mercenaries there, and the Tin Code out of Bismarck, they are really afraid because none of their equipment was very effective. The uranium, weapons grade uranium that they sprayed on us, the 235, was ineffective. It did have a great effect on some of the white people that came.
Yeah, and I've got a question. Maybe you should talk about this. Uh, we should be correct, okay? So Lichtsoldaten, I mean light soldiers, huh?
Yes,
Because
yes.
they are connected to this shit because these people went through real deep shit, okay? So they
Mhm.
are connected to this shit too. I think that it will be fair to talk about them, huh?
Yes, we were called to do that. I'm one of the Lichtsoldaten, and
Is
I
that
was
the
called.
light warriors from the
Yeah,
Nazi
yeah, yeah,
parallel reality?
exactly. But
And you,
Mhm.
from bad one, because they are like
bad one.
good
Oh yeah,
ones,
they yes,
good Nazi reality and bad Nazi reality. I mean,
abs-
reality, it means when they won Second World War.
hmm absolutely, and
I thought
so
we're in the bad Nazi reality, right?
Bad because in good Nazi reality there were no extermination camps, no, not like, bullshits like we need to kill Hebrew people, we need to kill Slavs and all kind of this crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
right.
But in bad, and they were no atomic weapons and all kind of stuff. And in bad reality everything went totally bad. Instead, for another people, instead they, I mean Nazis, the Axis, they won Second World War, so then Daniel is even more familiar with that as I am I right?
yes, absolutely, Peter. The ones that escorted Admiral Byrd down below to Agartha, they were kind and very nice, and their leader is very benevolent. They don't hold people against their will. They don't have what most humankind understand a Nazi being um, the fascist way of, uh, of Adolf Hitler in this construct. But they're very nice and respectful people. They were very nice and respectful to Admiral Byrd and to his crew. And he went down below and met the leader, and they were very nice. And
Who
uh,
do you mean?
Admiral Byrd, when he
Okay, okay.
when he was flying over the North Pole, they basically took control of his bomber and took him in and gently set him down on the inside Agartha, and were very polite, and then returned them to after the meeting was over, and gave the leader, I can't recall his name at the moment, but he gave him a message to bring to the War Department, and he did so. But and then you have the as Peter was talking about, the bad Nazis who were fascist and who were controlling and murdering and evil and wanted to.
Do very cruel stuff, even much more cruel
Yes.
than they did in our reality. It was like, it was crazy like shit, as
Oh yes.
it was nightmare for
Yes.
me.
Yes. And so our portion of the Lichtsoldaten is truly a part of the light, truly a part of fighting a war with the Plagiaran mindset. I was gifted with the Plagiaran Warrior's Way at one time, and Peter is familiar with this, with Lisa,
Yes, you are right.
and also with the Audacious Stone, which basically every time myself or Audrey would go up to the lower bridge and stand up on the barricades, the soldiers and the police and Tiger Swan mercenaries and the National Guard, they would all get in their vehicles and move about 50 to 100 yards back because they were afraid the CIA was here by that time. And they were afraid that Audrey was going to take out retributions from the tortures that they did to him and Ariane House while they were incarcerated at Area 51. And that's the furthest thing from the truth, but that is really what their fear was. We could smell it on them, we could sense it in them, and they had taken a surface-to-air missile launcher, and the tubes were empty except for microwave guide tubes, magnetrons, and they began to shoot the microwave at us, and Audrey just looked at me and smiled, so I held up my hand and I created a virtual paraboloid to redirect the signal back in, and smoke immediately poured out of 6 of the 8 tubes, and it just completely smoked 6 of the 8 tubes, and there were 2 still running. And I turned to Audrey, I said, don't they know that they're microwaving their own mercenaries and their own policemen? And of course, on the camera there is a microphone, and the soldiers and the mercenaries and the police officers heard it, and they all scrambled to get in the vehicle and move back about 100 yards because. But these two, the two that were left in the tube, were damaged, and they didn't. I couldn't even. I was joking. I was turning around, going, "Well, let me get well done here. I'm going to turn a little bit," and all of the natives were laughing because they saw the smoke, and so we just left because the soldiers had moved back and the mercenaries had they were afraid, but they couldn't believe their own. There was a lot of controversy amongst the mercenaries and the policemen that they would shoot their own people to get to us, the water protectors, and we never protested, we never demonstrated. We merely went to the front lines and prayed for the water. And now there was at one time when I found one of the buffalo bones, the right foreleg of a pregnant female that they had eaten, and they threw the bone at some of the water protectors, and I found it in the charred remains, and I picked the bone up and I went in and I told them how cruel it was to treat this sacred animal in such a way. And I asked them, are you going to try to eat us as well? Because in times past, they reduced 600 million indigenous people from the time Columbus got here by eating us. They called us the long pig, and they reduced us down to 800,000 indigenous American Indians. And so I said, are you going to eat us like you ate this pregnant cow, this buffalo? Are you going to do that? And I held the bone up in his huge left foreleg, and I was really saddened by that. And I said, that's all I have to say. And I took the bone to Chief J.R. American Horse, and I said, this needs to be returned to Mother Earth. And he said, yes. He goes, you know how valuable this is? And I said, yes. And then even afterwards, there were 100 buffalo coming through a fence. They just walked right through the fence, and they were coming down to the bridge, and a soldier came out and expended about 5.5 magazines, somewhere between 150 and 180 rounds of M4 ammunition on the herd that was rushing there. He knocked 20 of them down, and there was blood everywhere. We could see. And Chief was watching, and I said, they're shooting them, they're shooting them. He goes, yes, I see. And they knocked him down, and he was speechless. He was so hurt that he put down the binoculars and stepped out of the vehicle. But we prayed, and Adrius was praying to heal, and every one of those buffalo within 4 hours stood up and were on their feet. And the other buffalo, another 100 buffalo, came in behind them. As soon as the man was standing there, he was going to go shoot them at close range, because it only knocked about 20 of them. There was about 40 wounded, but 20 of them were on the ground. He was going to go finish them off, and the other 100 buffalo came right through the wire. There was a 5-wire barbed wire fence. They just walked right through it and ran on over there, ran him up on top of the hill where the rest of the platoon had joined him. And some of the buffalo came from where the wounded were. They came up on top of the hill, and the others came up on the ridge of the hill and drove the Humvees. They had to back down the side of the hill. They had to flee from this buffalo. And I'm pretty sure there was some pushing around of the buffalo were pushing the Humvees around on the backside of the hill. And so this is what they did. But all of the 20 that went down that I could see, actually eventually, because I stayed up all night watching, and they eventually they returned to the herd. And even the calves, I couldn't believe it. But Audrey was mindful of this, and he says, yes, all night trying to heal their wounds, and they'll be fine now. They'll be all right. And they did. They got up and they stayed there one more night, and then they joined the rest of the herd, and they were healing.
Right. Well,
So
thank you, Daniel, for sharing that. I do want to mention that I will need to wrap this up within 30 minutes, and I got a few more questions here, and I like to go back and actually, Dan, you covered one of our questions. If you can confirm, Anonymous is in fact AI, and
It is.
and so but could Anonymous be considered a positive group, or maybe just it's got its own agenda?
They've got their own agenda, and it's extremely hard to define if it's positive or negative, because it can be both, you know.
Right.
yes, but I believe from what I've seen that Anonymous is actually on some parts attacking Animus and
You are
winning.
right.
It's scary because Anonymous is attacking Animus and winning, and it's damaging Atlas and Alice. Their Alice is almost burned up. She can no longer. The time it takes for the openings in time, and Peter knows what I'm speaking of, to go back and forth in time
Yeah.
and change things.
Just for official record, Alice is project of Umbrella, you know, because there was these movies and video games made.
Mhm.
Resident Evil, you know, so this is the project Alice, you know.
Yes.
It was revealed in there,
Mhm.
just for official record.
Yes. And the equipment is located in Cern, Switzerland.
Yeah.
And Alice is burning up, and Atlas is the only thing Atlas can do, because it doesn't have data in which to change the memories or the hydrogen hyperfine transition line, the Akashic record of humankind. It can no longer do that. So what it's doing is just blanking out
Yeah.
the Akashic record, trying to, but it is not being successful because Alice was the primary data needed to activate this, and that is one of the reasons Animus could not reestablish or repair any links in my mind or my brain, and I was easily able to stop the attack, almost, I'd say within 10 seconds of the phantom pain that I was given of all the wounds that I've received here. And I've been wounded quite severely, but healed, because Audrey taught me how to use the stone along with the meditation to lengthen the telomeres to accelerate healing. And when my mate came, when she is touching me, the healing is accelerated 1,000 times. She is my strength. She literally, I was healed in a matter of seconds rather than minutes or hours. And it was very shocking. I didn't know that, but now I understand. And so now when that phantom pain comes back, immediately I go into meditation and ask the stone to, and I feel my mate's arm on mine, and immediately any damage done to me by any weapon around here where we are at the moment is completely eradicated in like 3 to 5 seconds. It's really amazing. It's beautiful. It's just
Well, certainly, Dan. We'll need to bring you back on to share that meditation, because I think the audience members would really appreciate that.
yes.
But
Audrey has been very, very specific about how this is done, but I was gifted the Audacia, and the Audacia actually helps me to do this in such a
Okay, so
rapid
let's
way.
move on, people, huh?
yeah,
Okay.
I agree. So I do want to mention in the last interview I did with Peter when we were talking about the chupacabra, and that's when it was Alana. She was asking questions about it. There were some strange distortions in the sound, so I don't know if Peter, if you did you happen to have a chance to listen to that part? Do you know what I'm talking about when we were talking about the chupacabra?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I just thought that maybe that's the chupacabra. I don't know, the spirit of the chupacabra.
Yeah.
You think that's what that could have been?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So go back, check that out. Also, I want to mention that I lost when you're talking about the binaural beats, I lost my headset and I tore apart my house looking for it. And 3 months later, I found it in a place where I probably searched like 5-10 times. So Peter seems to think they might have altered it to, I don't know, mind control me or something. I don't know, but so if you have things disappearing from your house and reappearing, that's most likely Milabs probably are picking it up, and it's not you actually losing it. So for people out there that think they lose things, and it's not necessarily your fault. Okay.
What did Peter call that phenomenon? That's actually a part of that, because that headset had been many places over periods of time, and when Alice and Atlas reboot time, what was it, Peter? What did you call it? The phenomenon of the Phantom phenomenon? I can't remember.
Phantom pain.
Well, no, actually, where the fellow poked his head through, and where constructs are mixed together, back and forth, and of course your personal items will be in one place at one time and another place at another time, because that's what they were in. And when they start mixing constructs, yes, will disappear from right in front of your eyes. I've had that happen, and reappear elsewhere where they were in a previous time.
You mean materializing and time mix and matrix mixing. Okay, I gotcha.
Yes. That's what I was referring to, and that's what I think happened.
Okay, but we need really to move on. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we definitely believe you, Dan. I know there are a lot of other people out there that had that experience. But moving on here, now this is probably going to be a yes or no question. I want to throw this out here so we don't have to worry about asking this anymore. But how many TR-3Bs are in operation, and which countries own them and operate them?
So this is it. Many of them, tens of them, and there are no countries. There are only in ACIO, like coverage, if you wanna call it that way.
Yeah, but Peter, you might want to throw out there are 0 in operation because they're not called TR-3Bs. They are
TR3Bs. Yeah, no. Yes, they are TR3Fs. Yeah.
Right. So
yes,
the answer to that question is there are 0 in operation.
Yes.
A lot of people, I guess the Intel is old. That's from what, the 80s? When was the last time they used TR-3Bs?
Yeah, no, like 70s.
Yeah, that just shows you
second half of 70s. Yeah.
The Intel is really off. Okay, so there you have it. Next question. Oroville Dam update. Now we need to talk about this because we keep running out of time going over this. And as I'm sure a lot of listeners know, the Oroville Dam in Northern California has been, I guess it's overflowing. I don't know if it's still overflowing. They might have slowed it down somewhat or reduced the level.
They slowed it down, but it's not over. The danger is not over yet.
Because apparently it could flood out underneath the dam. The water could wash out underneath it, and then it'd be a catastrophic drain of the whole lake, which would, they're saying, would go as far south as Merced, which is way, it'll flood out. It'll flood out Sacramento, and Merced is way down into the valley. Now, Peter, you have some information about the Oroville Dam that you can share to the audience. Why don't you tell the audience member what you think might have happened from your perspective?
Yeah, it's very easy because the hierarchy in Slovenia, okay, they wanna set up the martial law. because the people will be in a, in a fear, and they wanna send the National Guard, special army units there, and all kind of this stuff,
So that's what it all is to trigger a martial law scenario.
Yeah, because they are so pissed off that Clinton didn't win president elections,
Now, what about the so-called the underground base underneath the Oroville Dam? You want to comment about that? What happened?
Yep, it's in San Bernardino, and not so far away from San Bernardino, and they tried to start the UFO ship, but with no not like no without the how can I say that, the proper instruction manual, and they screwed that, so the engines started, but not exactly as they should, and it was one of the triggers what triggered the instability of the dam,
Yeah, but San Bernardino, I mean, that's got to be at least 500 miles away.
Yeah, that's true, but it was like it was done intentionally.
So some other weapon damaged the dam, maybe a scalar weapon, some space-based weapon.
Once again, they did that like this because of these engines. Okay, this is it.
Yeah, the improper.
Many people don't believe that, but these engines are capable of doing something like that. I saw them when they started, because this ship is huge, is a mothership.
Like
And if you don't
miles
start them
wide.
just right,
What?
yeah, if you
How
don't
many?
start the procedure right and begin the graviton engines starting just in a certain order, it causes like an earthquake, and that's what Peter's speaking of. It damaged the Oroville Dam by the improper startup of the graviton.
Yeah, that's the problem, because it's like they are anti-gravity engines, and once you are not starting starting them in good order, bad consequences, very bad consequences.
And you mentioned there was an implosion underneath the dam, so that was triggered, I guess, remotely from
It
San
was
Bernardino.
Yeah, it was another part of the problem, that the implosion was like another agenda, because they wanna create multiple portal to multiple dimensions and realities.
And
And
did they?
no, I mean, they don't know, because it must to be shut it down because of the all the problems,
I guess you could ask Moron about that. The Phantom in Zambia. You probably know.
Well, actually, if you realize San Bernardino is really near the San Andreas Fault, which runs right up through the area of which Oroville Dam, and
Yeah, that's
something's
true.
got to give. When they started up the engines they started the whole thing up at one time instead of starting it up in the proper stage protocol. And what it really does is it shuts down, and it shuts down so rapidly because they are violent when they take off. We have to be really careful using our graviton engines when taking off. Really, really careful. Otherwise,
How big is this
go ahead.
ship? This mothership?
it's like, okay, it's like approximately like 3 miles wide.
Wow, that must be a
Yeah, yeah,
huge bunker under there or hangar.
yeah. That's true. It's like 3.1, 3.2 miles. It's like 5 kilometers, 5.2 kilometers wide. It's a saucer, you know, typical
Well,
saucer.
well, I mean, just the opening in the hole in the ground would be so
No,
big
no, no,
that
no,
people would
no.
see
You are
it.
not right. You are not right.
Can you explain that?
They will be teleported, but they need to be started. The engines need to be started underground, and after that, they will be teleported, just like that.
Well, how in the world did they get this mothership? Why would the ETs give them something like that? That dangerous?
Because they were naive, if you wanna call it that way.
Hmm. It's too bad they don't just go to contact the people over at NASA and say, here you go.
Yeah, because if they can, it's called disk interference. What they do once they start it up and they get it, it leaves contact with the hangar floor. Then they basically use disk interference to go from the hangar, and they teleport through the Earth into the open atmosphere. And of course, they tried to start all the engines at once. And as Peter
That
says,
was their problem. That was their problem.
yeah, they were so naive.
They started all three engines because there is like one huge engine, what is like the real deal power, and two smaller engines, and you can maneuver. Do you know what I mean? Like left, right, and all kind of stuff.
And they didn't give them an operation manual.
Yeah, that was the problem. I mean, like, no, not two, four, because like left, right, and help me, up, down, something like that, you know. And they don't do it like normal way. They just hit the fan, you know, and like, okay, let's start, and they start all five engines together, and I was like, crap.
Now, Peter,
And that was foolish.
you said that this attack on the dam was intentional. So now you're saying that this was maybe an accident?
I mean, it was intentional, but I think that they know, at least they know the risks of started all engines together. At least they know the risks. Okay.
So they're like, well, we'll just see what happens anyway. If the dam blows, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it
It'll
was
serve
like
our
we
agenda.
didn't care. We didn't care. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
Like that. Like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have
Is there any?
no respect for life. They have no respect for life, like Peter does. He respects all life. That's how we first met. Was with the microwave. We had damaged a portal, a gate
Yeah,
in
that's true.
in Africa, and it was They tried to. We were negligent in destroying the digital dialer that they had created, and they turned on the digital dialer with the gate being destroyed, and it was hurting. It was putting these bands from pole to pole of microwave and hurting people in Africa, hurting people around the world. And Peter said,
Because it was
can you help?"
crazy. It was crazy because people started to people and animals start to walk upside down, like you know, ballerines. Do you know what I mean? And people who are making this crazy fitness, you know, stuff, and they were like, shh, and it was like, what is this about? And they went insane because of microwave. Yeah, that's true.
Yes,
That's true.
and I forgot when he said that. I said, "Give me about 10 minutes," and I went back I had to contact another member of Lichtsoldaten, and we went and destroyed the digital dialer, and it shut it down. And I apologize to everyone for not catching this, but we had so many targets in that event.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
but we were able to damage all of them beyond repair.
Yeah. Now I want to mention. So Peter, have you covered the Oroville Dam? Is that about what you?
I think that
pretty
we
much?
are okay. I think that
Okay.
we are okay.
Well, I had one more question. I want to give Adrian a chance to answer it. Adrian, are you there? Hopefully he's still listening.
I think he's not here
I'm
with
here,
us
Jay.
anymore.
Hi.
Okay. He is.
Yes. So, Adrian, we have about 10 more minutes, and I want to give you a chance to talk about ERAPA and what you saw through your Skynet files at Area 50, I believe Area 51. Can you share with the audience members a little background information about what's going on here?
You mean specifically on this project, or
Yes,
what I saw?
Yeah, apparently there was this clone and an Area 51. They're taking, I guess they have cyborgs or avatars. Why don't you describe what's going on down there through your Skynet files?
Well, from what I saw is a lot of ships that are new ships that are starting to come in there. You know, I was telling you about that ship, that mothership called Zeus. And then there was another ship that I saw that was transformable, and all kinds of different. I saw all kinds of different kinds of technologies that they're starting to create there, and of course, you know, like you said, we've been working with Sabretooth, and it seems like some of these are getting more advanced. Some of these technologies. I just wanted to validate that.
Can you describe what, first of all, were you able to see what one of these beings looked like? These cyborgs, I'm assuming, or whatever, Sabretooth?
Well, Zeus is he's sort of like Sabretooth, but he's more like a transformer, and he can transform into a giant mothership. And as you know, me and Cynthia, we've been working with that ship, you know, through the software, and it seems like it can do a lot of cool stuff, you know, and it can move pretty fast, it can transform, and it's interesting because we're starting to discover that we actually have our own ships and our own kind of like cyborgs, you know.
Yeah, and do you know who made them?
No, I do not.
Okay, they were developed and manufactured in former Soviet Union, now in Russia.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah,
Peter,
we didn't look into that, did we, James?
no, Peter, can you confirm they actually have super soldiers that can transform, like, into a tank or into a
Yeah,
ship?
definitely yes.
Is that what you consider shape-shifting?
I can give the names. I can give the names who
Yes.
made them. I can give the
Yes.
names.
Tell us.
Okay, no problem. Let's talk about some crazy scientists, because they were crazy into this what they were doing. You know. So let's talk about about Eugen Eugen Proshkov, for example, and his team. You know, because it was crazy. They did that, and technically they never get that to Soviet leaders. I mean, to government. The Proshkov, you know,
They kept it
because
for themselves?
yeah, exactly, because it was like they realized that this is way too much powerful to get this to these fools, because they know that they were fools, you know, because it was back in the 50s and there was Stalin, you know, and there was like, holy shit, he's crazy, he's like a Hitler. No, this will be not good idea. So
Wow.
Proshko, you know, like keep Proshko and his team. They kept it for themselves.
Right.
And
Now-
now they did many like interesting stuff, because for example this video game, when you met very strange people and you unite or fight against them. This game is it's Russian fighting game, like one-to-one close combat, or it's like a shooting game called Escape from Tarkov. Tarkov actually it's a real deal a city in Russia, and it's revelation what Proshkov did, back in 50s. It's crazy after so many years. Isn't it crazy?
Wow, so it's all real.
Yeah,
At least
it
that,
is.
that portion. Yeah, so we'll definitely
And
have to go
that's-
check out that game. Go ahead.
And that's why you basically have Hollywood revealing some of this technology and in films such as the Transformers on different scales. And like you say, you get these cyborgs can hide in plain sight, or they, when needed or necessary, they unfold and do what they do and then
Yeah.
hide again. It makes
Adrian,
them much easier to hide.
Yeah, for sure. Adrian, you want to comment a little bit more about what you saw?
Well, it's very interesting. What I was seeing was this ship transforming into like a tank size looking military tank. And I was telling you about it where me and Cynthia has been talking about this ship called Zeus. And this thing was like really huge from what I saw when I remote viewed and what we saw in the file. And it's just very amazing, what they can do.
Can you comment about ERAPA? EARAPA?
ERAPA? Trying to think back. What were we talking about?
It's similar to DARPA.
Okay, so if I remember we were looking up, I think it was in your file, wasn't it, James? We were looking up, it was like DARPA, it was bringing up more like you had some kind of government projects that were going on with RAPA.
Yeah, so what is
remember.
that? Peter, what is that organization?
Yeah, it's like ERAPA. They are working with aliens, and they are like a specific division of DARPA,
And of course, if you were to contact DARPA, they probably would deny this division
Of
exists.
course, definitely yes. They will not
All
tell
right.
you, hello, we've got such a special division here. Let's talk about them. Definitely
Well,
not.
can you offer any more information about what they do with these aliens? What, are they trying to create hybrids or turn aliens
Yeah.
into super soldiers?
No. It's everything is about technology. Okay, everything is about technology.
Right. There's probably reptilians embedded into their crew, giving them information.
Yeah, but technically, I almost forgot something important.
Yes.
That these men who developed them, the I don't know how can I call them. They can make themselves smaller and bigger and all kind of stuff in Russia. That he was born in Russia, but a Russian variant of Eugene is Evgeny. Eugen, it's Slovakian variant of that, okay? So technically he was Slovak, as I am, but born in Russia, okay? That's the stuff. And he was genius, and he did crazy stuff. you know, and they realized that it was good. It wasn't good to give the invention to the actual government, so they kept it from themselves, and they was able to flip-flop the realities, you know, back in 50s, and the Americans, they was totally scared from them, you know.
Wow. So I guess the Americans never got a hold of the technology. Well, apparently they did. They got the tanks, Zeus or whatnot,
Yeah, but
going
for
on.
example, I've got my a friend of mine and a very good agent, uh, 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 and she's small, you know, very small. She's like 5'3", 5'4", 5'3", you know, and she's like 100 pounds or 90 pounds, something like that. And when she was attacked, because she's our agent, when she was attacked by this new kind of PPAI, and she was, because she was healed, and she was throwing it up, and believe it or not, she threw up fucking 50 pounds of it. It was black, it was like mud, it was crazy. And she was so filled up of adrenaline that that uh she drive to US military base, and she flip-flop 2 times Abrams tank, you know. And when F-15 jet fighter started, uh, she standed just right behind it, and she opened her mouth. And when it started, when it took off, they asked her, why did you do that? You can be killed. And she was like, no, I just want to breathe, you know. She was so full of adrenaline. So this crazy stuff can do the new PPAI. It's crazy. And once she was in the healing process, her skin was completely see-throughable. Her skin, her muscles, to the bones.
Seems
All
like a
in.
Fringe episode.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You are right. You are right.
So what happened?
She's healed and perfectly fine. I'm just telling you. So small, so lightweighted woman did all this crazy stuff, you know? It was crazy.
Would she like to be interviewed?
I don't know. I can ask her, but
Okay.
I can ask
Maybe.
her.
Yeah,
I
maybe
can
the
ask
audience
her.
members would like to ask some questions. Now, as exciting and as interesting as this is, we're going to have to come to a conclusion now. It's been about 2 hours, well, over 2 hours now. So what I'd like to do is give everybody an opportunity to share their websites. Now, Dan, do you have any books or websites you'd like people to visit to learn more about you and what you do?
I don't have anything myself. Audrey has. I think there's a website that if you go to Wolf Spirit Radio, JP, the host JP, he'll have archives on the star meditation, and also many things that Audrey Lewis has shared with the world about how New Lyra is and how the Plejarians are helping. And like I said, and I'd like to thank Peter too for this opportunity because without Peter and ACIO raiding the ancient Arrow site and taking the artifacts, Animus would be way ahead by now. Our PPAI would be much more advanced than it is now. But because they have taken those ancient artifacts and spread them to the wind, Animus is, it's just, there's no possibility of it winning, not against the Athena class vessels that the Blajaran have. It's just impossible.
Let's talk about this more, Peter, in another update about the whole story behind that, because I think that's very fascinating. A lot of listeners are not familiar. Familiar with that. That's of course with the original Wingmakers material, but we'll have to say that for another time. Of course, now Peter's website, and by the way, Dan, you should consider setting up a free blog and just give us some updates about what's going on over there at Standing Rock. I think a lot of people will be interested in that.
Okay, I'll find out what Audrey's blog is, and I'll
sure,
email it to you.
Okay, great. Now, Peter's website is peter-insider.com, but that's mostly in. I'm assuming that's Slavic. I can't read it, but
yeah.
And apparently, these videos are posted there, and they're very popular over in Slovakia or the Czech Republic.
Yeah. But I just want to say, in 2 or 3 weeks, all of them will be subtitled in English, so everybody will be able to hear them out.
Mm-hmm. And maybe we could put subtitles on this for your listeners over there. We'll talk about that later. But
okay.
And also be sure to visit supersoldiertalk.com. Oh wait, I forgot. Adrian, let me give you a chance. Now, of course, Adrian has a website, and I know that because I made it for him. But your website, Adrian, you want to plug yourself?
Yes, James. My website is forceversuspower.com, and anybody's welcome to go there if they need any kind of deprogramming sessions, or if they want to have any kind of psychic advice. I would like you to join my website. Thank you, James.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you, Adrian, and maybe we can talk about bringing Cynthia on. That sounds very interesting with the story of Zeus. Now, be sure to visit supersoldiertalk.com. You can also see I think this is like the 20th interview we've done, Peter. So there's a lot of information that we've covered. We might have to get this transcribed because there's so much. We could write multiple volumes. But this is great. I'm glad disclosure is happening, and we're the real deal. We're the ones doing it, and we're going to keep doing it as long as we're able to. Also, be sure to visit neologicaltech.com to support the work that I do. And also, be sure, if any of the listeners have questions, feel free to ask them in the comments section. I haven't really got to the point where, if you were to email me these questions, it usually gets lost in the email, so it's just best to keep them in the comment section. And also, try to ask really good questions, because some of these questions Peter doesn't want to answer because it's just kind of, it's not really all that important. Like, for instance, is Mark Zuckerberg the grandson of Rockefeller? And that's true, but it's not really relevant to Super Soldier Talk and aliens. So try to keep it on topic. So also the program is closed for new applicants. In the past week, I had somebody contact me, ask me. They applied for the application process even though it was closed, and this individual, in their brief summary of what's supposed to be going on in their life, they didn't even include one sentence. It was just a couple words. And I wrote the person back saying that if there's any chance of getting help from Peter, you're going to have to give a lot more information than that. And they basically wrote me back, I don't want to go into specifics, but my opinion, I'm doing the best I can to save Peter a lot of headaches and trouble from basically tourists and people who are not taking this serious. So if that individual's listening to this, you know who you are. And please don't waste my time again, or Peter's, and a lot of other people out there, because we're trying to help people, and we can only do it as long as people don't abuse the system and waste our time. So, all right. So there you have it. Thanks everybody. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, listeners. And whoever that may be.
Thank you, James.
Wherever you may be.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Peter.
Thank you,
Dan.
Thank you.
Until
Peter.
next time. Bye-bye.
That was great work, people. Huh?
Please consider supporting Super Soldier Talk by purchasing your own Neo Meditation device. Your Neo Meditation device will help you reduce stress, integrate trauma, enhance intuition, enhance clairvoyance, and enhance creativity. Get yours now at www.neologicaltech.com.